عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن في هذا لبلاغا لقوم عابدين وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين. Indeed, in this Quran is notification for a worshipping people, and we have not sent you, O Muhammad, except as a mercy to the worlds. Surah Al-Anbiya, ayahs 106 to 107. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was the kindest of men and surpassed all in courage and valor. The slightest inhumanity brought tears in his eyes. He was a mercy for the believers, a mercy towards his enemies, a mercy for women, a mercy for children, a mercy for slaves, and a mercy for animals. The Prophet ﷺ had great compassion for his believers. The Quran describes his compassion and care in Surah At-Tawbah, ayah 128. لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ عَزِيزٌ عَلَيْهِ مَا عَنْتُمْ حَرِيصٌ عَلَيْكُمْ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. There has certainly come to you a messenger from among yourselves. Grievous to him is what you suffer. He is concerned over you, and to the believers is kind and merciful. The captives of Battle of Badr were among the worst enemies of the Prophet ﷺ. However, he still made sure they received the best treatment. Umar radiallahu anhu suggested that 2 teeth of one of the prisoners should be pulled out, so he would not speak such vile language. The Messenger ﷺ said, "Were I to do this, Allah would disfigure me on the Day of Judgment, despite the fact that I am His Messenger." In Mecca, the people caused him so much trouble and pain, eventually forcing him to migrate to Medina. However, when he conquered Mecca without bloodshed, he asked the Meccan unbelievers, "How do you expect me to treat you?" They replied, "You are a noble one, the son of a noble one." The Prophet ﷺ said, "You may go away. No reproach this day shall be on you. May God forgive you. He is the most compassionate of the compassionate." The women in Mecca were not treated well during this time, but the Prophet ﷺ established women's right through his sayings and commandments. This improved their status and position in Mecca. The Messenger ﷺ also felt kindness and concern towards children. Oftentimes, he felt the pain of a mother for her child more than the mother herself. According to Al-Bukhari, the Prophet ﷺ said, "I stand in prayer and wish to prolong it. However, I hear the cry of a child and cut the prayer short for the anxiety which the mother is feeling." The Prophet ﷺ strongly appreciated the work of slaves and servants and believed they should be treated kindly and generously. He wanted them to be treated like all other people. Jabir radiallahu anhu narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, "Feed them with the food which you eat, clothe them with such clothing as you wear, and do not cause trouble to Allah's creature." The Prophet ﷺ also spread his mercy to the animals. He prohibited his companions from keeping the creatures hungry or thirsty and overburdening them. Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu anhu narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, "A woman was cast away to hell only because she had withheld food and water from her cat, and refused to set it free so that the cat might satisfy its hunger by eating worms and insects." My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, these are just few examples of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ's mercy that humanity has witnessed. But his greatest mercy for us is bringing us to truth, the truth of Islam. The Prophet ﷺ was restless seeing the condition of society and the reaction of his people when he was spreading the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every night he would not sleep due to this restlessness. He would cry and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that everyone around him, including his enemies that were trying to take his life, would accept Islam and be saved from hellfire. Dear brothers and sisters, this is the restlessness we need to desire and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for.